I think for any typical marketplace, generally you always face through that chicken egg problem, that if you don't have supply, how do you get demand? If you don't have demand, how do you get supply? So we decided to kind of solve that by short circuiting supply to at least some extent, and then focusing on demand, and then continue to focus more and more on supply. So even before deciding to build Pratilipi, one of the things that I had done was that I had spoken with about 350 odd authors in trying to understand, why does this problem even exist? Like, it doesn't make sense that something like this shouldn't have already been built. So when we decided to pursue Pratilipi, the first thing that we did was we reached out to these people and talked to them about that, you have told us your problem and now we are trying to solve it. Would you like to help us? So a lot of people still said no, primarily because, again, their point of view was that you don't really have any readers. So why would I spend any time or any energy on doing this? So our counterpoint to them basically was that, what if you don't have to spend any time whatsoever? All you have to do is say yes. We will do everything else. So we'll make your account, we'll upload your content. If people are reading it, we'll tell you. Whatever feedback you are getting, we'll tell you, and all of that. So that is how we convinced about 150 of these 350 writers. The second thing that we did was we got some public domain content in the languages that we had launched. So public domain definition will be different in different countries, but in India, basically, once a writer passes away, 60 years post that, the content gets into public domain. So we got about 150 odd stories from public domain content. And then we focused on trying to find these people some readers, number one. And number two, we just tried to make the writers who are still alive feel as special and as good as possible. So these writers then started sharing these profile links on Facebook and other channels, mainly Facebook. And then their friends would basically come to us and say that, you have published my friend's story, so why don't you publish our story as well? And we would say, absolutely great, just send us your story and we'll publish it. So this is how we essentially started growing, and this is how we got to our first maybe